Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really good. Now the name of this video today I will call Last Day's Congestion. Why am I going to call it that? What's congested? Or what am I looking for at the moment that I said about a year ago? I said I'm looking for a composite sign, didn't I? So that's what I mean by Last Day's Congestion. I'll give you an illustration of what I mean by a composite sign. Just imagine that there's somebody stood at a bus stop and it's waiting for a bus to arrive. But on the other side of the pavement, there's people walking to work. And they do that every day. It's their recognised routes. And they see this person, just single person, waiting for a bus. And one of them says, "I think I should have a word with them and tell him that there's no buses come down this way. They've not been coming down this way for some time now." And the other one says, "Nah, just leave him. Leave him. He looks happy in what he's doing. Just leave him." So that is not a composite sign. That'll be a single sign, won't it? It's just waiting for the one bus. And he's just one person on his own. So this is not likely to give evidence that we're at the end of this system with this illustration of this just one single person waiting for one single bus. But a few weeks goes by and the people still off going to work on the other side of the pavement. And when they get to this same place, they notice there's a large group, a huge group, in fact. And they've not seen this for a bit. So they're a bit curious. And what they do is they go over, cross the road, and they have a word with someone in the large group. And they say, "What's going on here? Why is there so many people stood at this bus stop today?" And one of them says, "We're waiting for numerous buses. Not just a single bus, but we're waiting for numerous buses. Rather a lot of buses, because there's a lot of us this time." So this has become a slightly different situation now. It's no longer a single bus and a single person. It's a multitude of people, a large group, and they're waiting for many buses. And that's the composite sign. So while they're waiting there, this same group that usually goes walking off to work on the other side of the pavement, they notice there are some buses coming. They've never seen this. They've not even seen one single bus. That's why they tried to warn that person earlier not to waste his time, because no buses have come down this way for a good while. But this time, there's a succession of buses. And so this large group of people who have been waiting for all these buses, they get to board these buses. And they're taken off to another destination. It's not important where they go off to once they get on the buses. The important thing here is that they waited for that composite sign, in this case, a succession of buses, and those buses arrived. So they weren't stood there foolishly on this occasion, like the single person was waiting for that single bus. This time, this large group stood there through having faith in knowing that there were buses coming, rather a lot of them. Sheer composite sign explanation. The picture behind is showing congestion. It's showing the angel that flies in mid-heaven. There. It's showing myriads of angels, and it's showing warmongering spirit creatures. And amongst all that, the Bible in the backdrop. This is representing the fact that it's unfinished. It's not complete. certain scriptures like Matthew 24:14 still not complete. Not been to every country, like Random Green says. He's quite right. There are some countries where the good news will probably never get the chance to be widely received, simply because those countries just don't allow Christianity, do they? But that doesn't mean that that scripture will remain unfulfilled. You know, this good news of the kingdom will be preached for a witness to all the nations. Well, it's that witness to all the nations, isn't it? You know, so let's just say North Korea don't allow the Jehovah's Witnesses or any other Christian faith that you know of to go about their business by putting a stop to it. Well, it still means that they've received. You know where I'm coming from here, don't you? They've still received the good news, even if they haven't accepted it. They've rejected it. It's still been there on offer to them. So this is what I used to think about when people say, look, there are so many countries that just don't allow the Jehovah's Witnesses or any Christian religion to freely practice. And that is true. No one's ever said that isn't true. We've always known that to be the case. But I still feel as if that does not mean that scripture will remain unfulfilled. It will still be fulfilled in one way or another.